Being joined here by Lynn Schlake, head women's basketball coach here at Southeast Community College. Lynn, thanks for your time in advance here. Another season's underway.
Thank you for inviting me for this. I think it's very important that we can get this started before the season gets going.
You know, now your gals came on pretty strong at the end of last season. You know, how is that going to carry over into this year? And then what are some of the new faces and the makeup of this year's team?
Yeah, last year we did finish strong. We actually won the Nebraska Conference, and we ended up winning the Region 9 championship. And we got to go to the national tournament, up by Michigan, and just fell short by 10 points up there. And what that brings to the season this year is the experience. I have 7 sophomores, and they bring that experience, and they know what it takes to compete at the college level to win that regional championship and get to the national tournament. And I think another thing that they bring is they're really competitive, and we're starting to see that in practices now. The practices are really getting competitive, and I think that's important.
You know, you do bring back quite a bit of experience because they got a lot of playing time last year as freshmen, and now they're sophomores, and you're just going to keep them rolling.
Right. We bring back 6 sophomores from last year. Probably 4 of them played quite a bit. Madison and Emily and Sierra and Morgan played quite a bit. And Rafaela has really worked hard. You can tell she really wants to contribute this year, so we're seeing a big improvement in her. And then we have a sophomore transfer, Nick. She played for a junior college out east last year, and she's really working in as a point guard. And she brings an extra thing to the table that we really didn't have before. She's so athletic and quick. And I think she's really going to contribute this year to our team.
Was she a late addition to your roster this year?
Right. We had to wait till she was cleared by her previous school. So, that takes some time, a lot of paperwork.
Very good. Recruiting is big at every level. At this level, even probably more so. It never stops. Talk a little bit about, some of the relationships you've built and how you can continue to bring really pretty good athletes into the school.
My main focus is to start here in Nebraska and contact girls. I have watched so much girls basketball the last couple of years, it's unbelievable. I think last year, one day, I watched 4 or 5 games up in Omaha.
Wow.
So, I'm starting to make contacts with coaches. Some coaches actually thank you for coming and saying, we've never had anybody from SCC come watch us play before.
Wow.
So, and I think if you look at our roster, got some local girls, Emily's from Wymore Southern, Madison's from Diller Odell, and then we got some girls from out Imperial, Battle Creek, Omaha, and then Coach Hannah brings that connection too. People remember her from her high school days, so she has connections too.
Yeah, we'll visit with her a little bit, but you mentioned some of the names here. Let's go ahead and just run down your roster real quick and just give me a quick snapshot, or maybe just a quick thought on some of your players here. Okay, number 3, she's a sophomore guard, and help me with the pronunciation.
Naikir Da.
Naikir Da, okay. And from Australia, how did she find her way here to SCC?
Actually, her cousin played for us last year, was a red shirt, and she actually wanted to come last year, but she contacted me too late and didn't have a scholarship for her. So, it's that relationship that I built, over a year ago that brought her to campus, and very athletic.
You're excited. She's athletic. You're excited
about
her?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Then we move on to number 10, Rafaela Rafajlovska.
Right.
You mentioned her.
Yeah.
Seems like she's always in the gym, helps out with the volleyball team, and the workout video in the off season she was.
Yes, she's always in the gym trying to get better. She was a foreign exchange student, played at Nebraska City High, and feel very great young lady. Feel very fortunate that she's part of our program.
Probably going to get some leadership out of her too.
I believe so. Okay,
then we have number 12, Emily
Zvanek.
Yeah, okay, the sophomore, 5'7", from Wymore, right down the road here.
From Wymore, she was recommended by a trainer here in town, and I went and watched her play, and she's just so competitive. And she's going to be one of our main shooters out there. And hopefully, last year we had Erica, and I could see Emily really filling that role this year as our shooter.
Get that taken care of. Morgan Frondorfer, 5'7", sophomore. Once again, a Nebraska native from Humphrey.
Right. Tough. She is tough as nails. She gets battled and bruised, and she just keeps right on going, takes the ball to the hoop, and she's going to really be a big part of the offense this year.
You need those on your team.
Yes.
You really do. Yeah. Madison Hayek, the 5'9" sophomore, the point guard from Odell.
Right.
She was on the floor a lot last year.
Right. She was our point guard last year. I believe she started 26 games, so we looked for big things from her. Very athletic. She's a point guard, and she jumps center for us. And I believe last year she only lost 2 jumps. So very athletic and can be a good main part of the team this year.
Good. Haley Moore, 5'8" sophomore, a guard from Wilbur.
Right. Haley's a walk-on. She had some injury problem at her before she went to her previous school. She's really improved since a year ago. And that's just because her legs gotten stronger and the girls just love her. She just fits in and she's really a big part of the team this year.
How much of a change? I mean, I suppose you can't make a blanket statement here, but you see these players in high school and then they grow up, they kind of fill out, they grow up a little bit and then they get here and then you've got another whole different dynamic of a player here.
Right. You know, that's what you kind of look for in recruiting. People ask me, what do you look for? I look for a tough girl that really wants to compete and play hard. We can improve their shooting. We can improve some of their other skills. And just a good teammate, and we're trying to find that right character, that right fit here.
Yeah, fit's a big thing.
Last year, people don't realize that we had 4 academic All-Americans, 2 first-teamers, and I can see this year having 6, 7, possibly 8 academic All-Americans.
You know, and I'm guilty as charged. I didn't have it on my list of questions for you. We don't talk about that enough, and we should.
Erica and Rafaela were first-teamers last year with straight 4.0. So
that's awesome. Let's get to some of your freshmen now. These are the newcomers. Cassidy Wynant, you brought her in from Battle Creek. Talk a little bit about Cassidy.
Good 3-point shooter, strong girl. Cassie just needs some confidence, and we're working on that, and she's going to be out there in the mix this year, definitely.
Okay, Cassie Bowes. 5'10" freshman. You got her listed as a power forward from Oxford.
She's another strong girl, really likes to battle and rebound, and we can probably look at her as a 4, pick and pop, because she is a good shooter, competitor.
You've managed to go to Las Vegas. It seems like you have a connection out there. You bring Danielle White, a 6'2" freshman center from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Previous coach, Coach Wooten, had a connection. She'd go out to Las Vegas and pick up some girls to bring back here. And Danny was one of those, you know, and I'm used to it. No, coach, I'm going elsewhere last year. I go, shoot. Yeah. But then, you know, things didn't work out for a school she was going to go to. And just building that relationship and leaving that door open really paid off because she has got a lot of potential.
Awesome. Then you go down to Hanover, Kansas to get Taylor Clipp. 5'7" freshman guard now. Talk a little bit about getting her here. Was she a late addition?
No, Taylor. Taylor was one of my first girls I went to look at. Hanover's won 2 state championships in a row in basketball. And you like to bring some girls in that know what it's like to win. Yeah. And that's contagious and it's passed on to other girls. And she's just a workhorse in the weight room. She's one of our top jumpers, a very good person to have on the team.
That's going to be exciting to watch here. Yeah. Okay, help me again with another pronunciation. Gunnar Gottlock.
Gunnar Gottlock.
Okay, 6'2" freshman from Omaha. You get into the Metro.
Yeah, her and Sierra were teammates up there at Omaha, and she's real athletic, and we'll see how she helps us out this year.
You got Sierra Leaper coming back. She was another one who came in and really gave you some quality minutes last year. She's out of Omaha too.
Sierra, you know, was one of those. She was mainly a driver in high school, and her coach spoke so highly of her character. And she has changed so much in a year. She's takes over the leadership, and she's improved her shooting. And I think when I recruited her, I challenged her to become a better free throw shooter, and she has.
So you actually asked her to maybe fill a different role than what she brought in high school. That can be tough sometimes.
Yep. And she's probably going to play the 4, the 3 spot for us, and she'll be that driver that DeAsia was last year for us.
Okay, then we'll skip back to the other freshmen. We got a little out of order there, but Reagan Nicholas? Yeah.
Yes.
6'1" freshman center from Imperial. So you're bringing another center into the mix.
You know, that's a recruiting story. Everybody was recruiting her for volleyball, and I was the only one for basketball. And she decided she wanted to play basketball and be close to Lincoln. Perfect fit. The girl has improved her vertical. We were thinking 3 to 4 inches, and she's you know, a very good teammate also to have on the team.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's just real quickly brush on your schedule. You're starting off with some exhibition, and then it looks like October's not real heavy, but November and January, a lot of games.
Right.
And then most of your February stuff is, you know, here at the Taylor Gym here, so, or at the Truman Center.
Yeah, scheduling's funny. You know, you got to work things out, and just works out that we'll be home a lot in February. Yeah. So we're going to get challenged before Christmas. We play a very challenging schedule. But
As
like I told the girls, that's what we want, because, you know, when we're playing a team, there's coaches sitting in the stands watching. And I feel now I got a group of girls that can compete with those and beat them. Okay, and I think the very first game here at home, we're going to show somebody and we're going to open some eyes, because we got a good DMAC team coming in who's always nationally ranked, and I think we can take it to them.
You know, the thing, you know, that we noticed last year, at least I did, you know, there maybe were some times where you were, you know, athlete-wise, kind of a little bit outmatched, but you guys never gave up on a lot of those games and stayed in a lot of them too.
Last year was confidence, and you know, there was a couple teams that took care of us pretty easily here at home early in the year, and then we go to North Central, who's nationally ranked, and we lose in overtime. A game that I probably blew. You know, we were up by 3-4 points with 20 seconds to go. And then we go to Fort Scott and we lose on a last second shot, and they took care of us here pretty easily. And Northeast comes in here and they got a battle, and they'd only had one loss all year. So we're starting to see where, and hopefully the girls realize that too. Yeah. We can compete with those teams.
Very good. Lynn, looking forward to another really good season with you guys. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you so much. Yeah. We are going to bring in one of your assistant coaches here when we come back.
Okay.
Hannah Baumgartner joins us now here. You're into your second year as an assistant coach, and you're going to be spending a little bit more time with the team this year. Talk a little bit about just that experience that's going to be for you.
Just getting to know the girls better is huge. You know, on the basketball court and being a coach, it's so important to have a personal relationship with them. And that's something I learned at Doane, playing there. And so that is just really important to me, and getting to know them in their personal life outside of basketball. So,
talk a little bit about your background. You played at Doane, so you've got a ton of experience. You have a lot of connections down here across Nebraska, I'm sure. That can only help a program like SCC.
Right, and just contacting other coaches is a lot easier, and kind of introducing myself, and they remember me just from Doane or from high school and things like that. And so that's a goal of mine, is to help these players get to the next level.
Do the current players kind of look to you as a peer, because you're a little closer in age? And that's not saying that Lynn's an old, but no, you're a little bit more closer, and, and maybe they can relate in a specific way to you.
Yeah, I think it's easier to talk to me about things, just being a female and just being closer in their age. They can relate to me, you know, even things that are, like I said, going outside of practice, on how to handle things, and you know, if there's communication issues in practice or things like that, they come to me. And you know, Lynn, he does the main part and he's the big picture, but I can always stand on the sideline, and if they have smaller questions, they come to me and I can break it down and explain that to them. So
is that going to be probably one of your bigger roles? How about like some assistant coaching type stuff? Will you help call plays, or and work with Lynn on maybe seeing some adjustments that might need to be made? Or how do you kind of envision that working?
Lynn and I have a really good relationship, so he's always open to any ideas that I have. And he always says, give me your ideas. I can tell you yes or no, and I'm okay with that. So I know he enjoys my input, and he really values that. So
that is a sign of a good coach, because I think sometimes they can kind of create their own island and might not want to hear from the outside. And then when you are able to accept some of that, then that's awesome. Talk a little bit about what you see in this year's team. What are we looking at?
I think we're going to be more competitive this year than we were last year. Lynn kind of touched on some of the girls. They're just go-getters, and they are mentally tough, and they're going hard in practice every single day, and so we can't ask for much more. Yeah,
the level of competitiveness in all of the teams that are brought in here that I've seen, it's amazing. I mean, everybody's got good players, it seems like, and SCC looks like there's an uptick as well.
Yeah, and I really enjoy, you know, the small town girls that come in as well, because they don't get as much exposure just because they're from a smaller town, but sometimes I think they're the ones that work the hardest. So
yeah, will you be helping with recruiting? I mean, you would be an asset, I would imagine, in that regard.
Yeah, I do as much as I can, but Lynn does a lot of the recruiting. So
is coaching in your future? Is this something you want to maybe take on full time, or what's your thought?
Maybe towards the future, once I get more comfortable. I'm still kind of in the process of learning new things and learning how to be a coach. You know, I was always a player, and so just transitioning into that coaching role is a big step. So
Yeah, I think you come into it with probably the proper attitude. You know, I'm here to learn.
Yep.
Here to help.
Yeah.
Bring some talent along too. So
Right.
that's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hannah Baumgartner, thank you so much
Thank
for joining
you.
us. Wish you the best this year. It's good
Thanks.
visiting with you.
You too.